In this video, I'm going to show you my makes from both the Sew Frugal and the Sew Yellow for Endo challenges, one of which I won a prize for. And I also will tell you about a couple of new fabrics that I have. I will tell you about a challenge that I'm going to get involved with. And I'm also going to tell you about my shitty life. Today, the makes I'm going to be showing you are actually for my granddaughter, which I'll do those first. And then I've got a couple of fabrics to show you. And then after that, some of my viewers may be interested in my shitty life at the moment, but if you're not interested in my shitty life, then that's fine. I'll let you know when I'm going to start warbling on about that and you can say goodbye. But let us start with some happy things, and that is, first of all, I will show you my Sweetie Pie tunic by Ellie and Mac. This is what I made for the Sew Yellow for Endo challenge. Now you'll have to excuse my nails, sorry, I've been out in the garden all day today and they are very, very worse for the wear, but I plan on getting them sorted out tonight. So I'm sorry, but there is one in particular there that's looking pretty nasty. So, oh, sorry, I just was flipping you the bird. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's move right along. Sweetie Pie tunic for my 5.5-year-old granddaughter, made in this cotton jersey. I bought this fabric so long ago for her and have never made it up. So, you know, I sort of use the Sew Yellow for Endo challenge and the Sew Frugal challenge as you know, the sort of starting point, because I needed to make some things for my granddaughter, and so I just thought that it was the perfect opportunity and the perfect reason to do that. Generally it's all about me, but so this Sweetie Pie tunic was very easy to make. Actually, when I said I was making the Sweetie Pie tunic, Katrina from Create Something Pretty over in Aussie said to me, that's a great dress. She's made it for her daughter, who absolutely loves it. But it's a bit odd because all the sort of swing and swish on it is on the side, and she's right. It's not wrong, but it's not bad. But yeah, it's all actually sitting out the side here. Can I show you? So, I mean that, yeah. And then that's where the bodice starts here. So it's all stuck out there. I don't know how it looks on her, if it even fits her, because I haven't seen her for many months. So she'll be growing like a weed. So I hope this fits her. But anyway, so that was the first thing, actually the only thing I made for the Sew Yellow for Endo. I did win a prize. I won a £10 voucher for a fabric store in the UK, which of course I can't claim, unfortunately, because I'm way down on the bottom of the world in New Zealand here. But it was really nice that I won a prize. I wasn't expecting it, and so yeah, I'm okay with that. And of course, Sew Yellow for Endo was run by Jess from So What If I Sew over in Scotland. This is the 4th year she's been running it, and she was really excited because she got, it was probably getting close to £2,500. I actually haven't checked for a few days, but yeah, I saw an Instagram post saying that she was wrapped because it was, yeah, about £2,300 at that stage. So the next challenge I entered was the Sew Frugal challenge, which is run by Sam from Frugalissima and Ruanne from the Yorkshire Sew Girl, and again it's their 4th year. I think both the challenges were started during COVID. So the 4th year that challenge was running, and the 1st year I had become involved with that challenge as well, same as for the Sew Frugal. And so again, I wanted to use that challenge as a springboard for me doing what any good nana should do in the first place, which is make clothes for her darling granddaughter. So what I wanted to do was not only use a free pattern and not only use fabric from my stash, I also wanted to use up my knit scraps, because I have so many knit scraps, which is a surprise because I really only started sewing with knits not that long ago, really, maybe only a couple of years. previously, in my previous sewing life, I don't know that I'd ever sewn with knits. And so yeah, but anyway, I am a knit-aholic now, and I have plenty of knit scraps. So what I did is I sewed the free pattern from Lowland Kids, the hoodie, except I left the hood off. I often do that for hoodies and make them just as sweatshirts. So I just drafted a little band for around the neck, and I used this. Now it's coming up really bright blue, but it is actually, in real life, it's a sort of a deep greeny, maybe a peacock blue, or a not quite petrol blue, but it's a very greeny blue and much deeper than you see on here. In any case, I made a Camille dress from Style Arc out of it for myself quite some time ago, and I had some left over, and I had this plain rib. So again, I have no idea if this is going to fit her or not. I've used a little label in there, but I'm thinking it will fit her. She's 5.5 years old, but she's a very tall girl and quite sort of, you know, big, as in not chunky, but just a big. She's probably about the size of a 8-year-old, I think. And so her mum said to make her something that was about a size 10 for a 10-year-old. She thinks that will be a little bit big for her, but then, you know, then she should soon grow into it. So that is the first one. I made a second Lowland hoodie out of scraps, and this time I used a merino knit that I had. I made something out of this for myself a long time ago. I love this fabric, this beautiful deep lipstick red. It's coming up brighter on the camera than it is in real life, but it's quite a deep lipstick pink. And this fabric here is from the Dahlia Society bespoke box last year, the Easter box, and so I had some of that left over. And so what I did was I was piecing it all together, and I didn't really have a lot of this merino here. So what I did is I cut the back. It's supposed to be cut on the fold, but I just added a seam allowance to it, and I cut 2 separate backs and sewed them together. But rookie mistake, what I didn't do was flip my pattern piece or flip my fabric. So I ended up with 2 backs the same, you know, with the armhole over here, say. So I had 2 exactly the same. So I had to then sew them together, one, you know, right side to wrong side. And so it looked a little bit different. The fabric's not 100% exactly the same on each side. And so I could tell a difference. You probably can't tell on the screen here. And now that I've sewn this down, the center seam, I struggled to tell as well, especially in this light. Sorry, it's getting late in the day. So I just sewed this little strip of the Easter parade, Easter box fabric down here, just to sort of break it up so you can't see that one side is different from the other. So this I think is really cute, and of course the little kangaroo pockets. Did I do kangaroo pockets on that one? I don't think I did. No, I didn't. That's just very, very plain. Kangaroo pockets on this one. So yeah, I'm sure I've shown them pictures. I haven't sent them down to them yet because I wanted to show you guys. I've shown them pictures, and both her mum and her say that they like them, so I'm pretty happy with that. And I did sew one more thing for Lisa. It is out of scraps, but I couldn't enter it into the Sew Frugal challenge because I bought the pattern. It's a new pattern out from Green Style. It's the Ultra Crop Youth Hoodie. I think that's what it's called. And I made this out of scraps, and I just love this so much. This is my favorite that I made. This fabric here was also from the Dahlia Society. It's a brand is called Poppy, and it's a beautiful poppy French terry. And this is leftover cotton cotton jersey. I made a Stanton hoodie for myself, minus the hood. I seem to like to take the hoods off hoodies, but I did put the hood on this one. And this is just so cute. So this pattern is quite versatile. You can either do this cropped version here, or you can make it a waist length. It is still cropped, but it goes right down to the waist. There's different sleeve options. There's balloon sleeves. You can do sleeveless. You can do binding. So obviously I'll put the pattern image in for you to look at. But I love this. I really, really love this. I don't think I've even sent them a photo of this one yet, but anyway, so I can't wait to send that down. Like I say, I couldn't put it into the Sew Frugal because I bought the pattern. It was on special because it was a new release, but yeah, that was the last make that I made for Lisa. Now what I will chat to you about is a couple of fabrics that I purchased. I'm supposed to be not purchasing fabrics, but it's just really hard for me not to. What can I say? It's my hobby, it's my joy, it's what brings me so much joy in life, and I need a bit of joy in my life right now, so I did buy some fabrics, and I got this one from Harmer and Huff here in New Zealand, and they were having a sale, which is why I bought it, because I thought, it's a sale. I think I got 20% off. I can't recall, or was it 40? I don't know, cannot remember. But this is a highly sustainable, because they are very, very hot on sustainable fabrics. That is the crux of their business. And this is a BCI cotton and Ecovero viscose. It's about 160 GSM. Really lovely. Got this now I think this is the right side. Got this sort of a striped effect going on it. It's almost a check, but there's this sort of very distinct line here, and then I don't know if you can see, but there's a very vague it's almost like in the, well, I'm not sure if it's the warp or the weft, but it's almost like there's one thread that's been taken out in the weaving process, so that it's very hard to see. I don't know if it's coming up for you, but it's very subtle. So this will be, I don't know what I'm going to make with this. How much did I get? Did I say? I probably got something like 2.5 meters or 2.75. I don't know. Now, so I've washed this and it's very wrinkled. And I know a lot of people wouldn't like that, but I like that effect. So I'm not going to bother ironing it. I really like that sort of, it's almost like a seersuckery finish on it. So I really enjoy that, and I'm going to love making something probably summery out of that, but I don't know. I mean, it's quite a heavier weight. Yeah, I think it's about 160 or 180 GSM, which isn't that heavy, but it feels quite sort of substantial. So anyway, so that's one of the fabrics that I purchased. And the other fabric was from Miss Maude. They were not on sale, this fabric, and it's new to their range, so I paid full price for it. But I was buying something which I'll probably tell you about in my next video from them, and it was such a small purchase. It was $7 or something, and the postage was going to be $10, so I had to make it worthwhile, didn't I? And so I had a look at fabrics on their site, and I found this knit. It is a new line for them. It's got about 40% a new fabric, not a new line. It's a new fabric to their website. It's got about 40% stretch. That's widthways, and just nothing really lengthways. It's 86% wool, and what is the rest of that? 14% some kind of man-made something, and I suppose that's the colour in there. That's the 14%, I suppose. So I think so 86% wool. And I think this is the right side. Oh, sorry, there's that nasty nail there, sorry. this is the right side, I believe, because it's sort of the jersey is curling around to the front, so I believe that's the right side, and it's got a very smooth shiny finish on it. But actually I prefer that side. That's the side I'm going to work with. It's more fuzzy, and I think actually I think the smooth side will feel nicer against my skin, although I imagine I'd probably wear something long sleeved underneath this. But what I'm going to do with this is make another Staley top, the sort of the sweatshirty one with the splits up the side. The Cupro one, the navy Cupro one that I made a while back, and I have shown you before, and I put it up on my Instagram grid. I love that, and I wear it such a lot. But it's not very warm, not very thick. So I wanted to make a winter version, and that's what this is going to be. And I can't wait to make it up, and I can't wait to wear it. It's a very deep navy with, it's kind of a beigey, some kind of beiginess going on. And yeah, I just can't wait to wear that. So I think that's going to be an absolutely amazing Staley top. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about was a challenge that I am going to enter. Now, my beautiful friends over in Aussie, what do they call themselves? The Sewists of Oz. There is Deb from Sewing Seams with Deb. There's Deb from DB Designs Australia, Katrina from Create Something Pretty, and also Hayley from the Hay Meadow. They are all lovely women, and I've had conversations with all of them, some more than others, but you know, they're fantastic ladies, and they have come up with a challenge, Sew Denim for Autumn. And it's a challenge, Instagram challenge over April, May. And so you've got a couple of months just to sew something denim-y. So I will link all their channels below, and so go and have a look at their videos on, you know, revealing this challenge to the world, and I'm going to get involved. I actually do have a plan, which I won't talk to you about now, because this is probably going to get to be, yeah, we're already quite a way in, 20 minutes in before I start editing it. So yeah, I'll chat to you about that probably in my next video. I'm really excited to get involved in that challenge and to support my lovely friends over in Australia. So I hope you'll go and have a look at their videos too, if you haven't already seen them, and support them as well. Think about getting involved. There's no stress, no fuss. They haven't asked me to promote this. I'm just telling you about it because I'm getting involved with it myself, and I just really like the concept of it. No stress. They do have a couple of prizes, but so they'll be randomly drawn. They're not going to judge you for your sewing ability or your taste or anything like that. It's going to be a random draw. So get involved if you would like to. And the last thing I will talk to you about is my shitty life. So please say goodbye now if you're not interested in hearing about what's been going on in my life. I won't think any worse of you. Thank you for sticking around this far, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. But for anyone who is interested, let me tell you what's been going on for the last couple of months. And it's first world problems, isn't it? It's not kind of earth-shattering, you know, it's just all piling up on top of each other to the point where I'm just like, oh my God, give me a break. I need to buy some fabric to make myself happy. So I say thank goodness for sewing, because it's keeping me sane. So where will I start? Oh, you will remember, if you've watched me before, probably about 6 weeks ago, maybe even 8 weeks ago, I can't recall, I said I needed to get my car repaired. The air conditioning wasn't working. Well, it wasn't just regassing it. I had to replace the compressor, which is an expensive business. And I've got a European car. I live in New Zealand, which makes the European cars expensive to own. I know that when you're in England, they're a dime a dozen, they're just normal, they're nothing special. Whereas over here in New Zealand, the Japanese cars are the dime a dozen, cheap to run, cheap to fix. But the European cars, I mean, it's not a fancy thing. It's 2009, so it's quite old, and I just like it. It's, you know, I haven't got it for any reason of prestige or anything like that. I just really like European cars. I've mostly owned European cars in my life. Anyway, horribly expensive to fix. So this blimmin' thing, I had to replace the, what did I say, compressor, and I had to give it a service, a full service, and it needed a couple of tyres and some work done on the brakes. So that was a lot of money. Next thing you know, that came back from the garage, and I drove it around for a few days, and something went wrong with it, and I took it back to them, and they said, oh, one of the coils is gone. I don't know what that means, but they said one of the coils is gone. They're only about $100, and then the cost of fitting. But what we know is that when one coil goes, they're all not far behind, so you may as well do them all at once. So I've got a 5-cylinder car, so that's 5 cylinders at $100 each plus fitting. So that's another, look, I'm just going to tell you how much I spent, just so that you know that I'm not exaggerating. So my car's probably worth these days about $4,000, $5,000 maximum New Zealand, which might be £2,000 or £2,500, same in American dollars, 2,000, 2,500, something like that. So it's not an expensive car. It's not fancy. I just love it. I really do love it. But I spent $5,000 fixing the blinking thing. So potentially more than the blimmin' car's worth. So I love my car. I do. It's not, you know, I had been thinking that I might on sell it. It's, you know, pretty gas guzzling. It's not eco-friendly. It takes 98 petrol or 95 petrol. You know, it takes the highest octane petrol. Not green at all. And I had been wondering if I might sort of move it on and get something a bit more ecologically friendly. But no, I'm keeping that sucker till it doesn't go no more. I can't afford to spend that sort of money, and then I'm just, you know, it's money gone, isn't it? So I'm going to drive that sucker into the ground, which is fine, as I say, because I like it. However, that was the first thing. Next thing was, you may recall, a few months after I started my channel here on YouTube, I bought a new computer because the laptop I was using just wasn't cutting the mustard. The graphics card had gone and it was just too hard to use. It was driving me nuts. So I bought a new desktop computer. All very well and good. Loved it. Does the job. Well, that pooped itself as well. It's got a year, it had a year's warranty, and of course it pooped itself about 2 or 3 months out of warranty. So I talked to the manufacturer, and they said it's out of warranty, that, you know, they couldn't do anything about it. But luckily my fabulous husband had seen a consumer show on TV, and they had said that in New Zealand the consumer law says that even if something's got a year's warranty, if you spend a lot of money on it, and they actually specifically mentioned like a computer, then you can reasonably expect it to last more than a year. So to your warranty, you know, your 1 year warranty, if it's, you know, within cooey of the warranty, you've got to fix it. So we pushed the case, and we've dropped it off to the place where we purchased it, and it's been a few weeks now, and they said it would take a while. They're going to open it up and see what the problem is. I've asked them if they can please do a backup of all my documents. I've got every single PDF pattern I've ever purchased. I've got all my photos from my makes over the last year and a half. You know, I've got CVs, I've got photos, I've got other documents, insurance documents, everything's on there. So no, it wasn't backed up. I have not. I kind of thought I paid monthly for some kind of cloud thing. I'm not a techno person, and I'm pretty sure I pay monthly for some kind of cloud storage, but apparently not. So, you know, everything is gone. I'm hoping that they're going to be able to do a backup and repair my computer. But still waiting to find out about all that. So that's quite stressful. I mean, obviously I can go and download direct from the companies I purchased the patterns from. I can do all that again. I've got to remember what I had, and you know what a faff. But it can be done. All my photos are gone though, all my other documents. But anyway, whatever. So that was the next thing. And then what happened is, if you recall, we had a couple of very old cats. One of them lived up here in my dressing room here. He hardly went downstairs anymore. He stayed up here, and he would snuggle into whatever I've left on the floor, a bath towel or a, you know, pair of trousers that I'd just flicked off and left on the floor. He'd snuggle into those and sleep on those, or climb into my washing basket, whether it was the dirty washing basket or the clean washing basket. He didn't care. He'd climb in there and snuggle in and sleep all day. Well, unfortunately, it got to the point where we needed to say goodbye to him, so we took him to the vet, and he went to sleep. So that was pretty sad, especially for my husband, because Harry had been in my life for about 12 years, but Chris had had him since he was a kitten, and he was 18 years old, so he was extremely sad. And then a couple of weeks later, his sister, unfortunately, it was time for her to go as well, so we lost both our older cats in the space of a couple of weeks. We still have a cat who is about 6, I think. Floof cat. She's huge and fluffy. So we still have her. But yeah, so that was a hard blow as well for us. And then the last thing, the final thing, hopefully, is both a good and a bad thing. But it's very, very stressful at the moment. It won't be stressful in the end. It'll be fantastic, and it's what we want to do, but it's very stressful for now. But we are actually going to be moving from Auckland, which is in the top third of the North Island, and we're going to be moving down to Christchurch, which is in sort of about the centre of the South Island. And actually, I need to look up and tell you how many miles that is, or sorry, how many kilometres that is, because it's quite a distance. So apparently that's 1,000 kilometres. That is, we're up here in Auckland, and we'll be moving down south to Christchurch. And the reason we're doing that is because my son and his daughter Lisa are there with his partner. My sister is there with her husband and husband and daughter, and my brother and his wife lives in sort of Dunedin way, which is another about 4 hours drive from there, but it's obviously, being in Christchurch, is a lot closer to them than we are currently. And that's just something that we've been wanting to do, my husband and I, for the last few years, and we have always put it off, but we finally have decided to do it. My husband has secured himself a job, a transfer with his company, so that's fantastic. And when I had originally discussed this with my employer, they had said that I probably could take my job with me, which is kind of what we were thinking would happen. Now it's come around to it and he's not sure. He has to decide whether he wants, whether it can happen or not. So, there's uncertainty around that. So, it's both good and bad. I mean, I'm not excited about it yet because I'm just so overwhelmed by everything. The fact that we have to pack up this house that we've been living in for 10 years and move 1,000 kilometers away. I don't know if I've got a job. We will be fine on one income, but it just means we won't be able to buy the kind of house that we had intended to. And we've got a lot of work to do. We've got a lot of work to do around this place. It's an acre, and we are not gardening people. There's a lot of grounds to look after, and there's bits of the property that have escaped us that's gone wild. So there's a lot of work there we need to do. There's when we purchased the house 10 years ago, it was a doer-upper, and we've done her up most of the rooms, but there's still things that we need to do. For example, in this room we have redecorated the room, but we've pulled the carpet up and there's chipboard on the floor, so there's no carpet on the floor. I think we'll just leave it like that. But things like this, the doors, we painted the door to the hallway behind me, but we haven't painted the cupboard doors. So there's that kind of thing that we need to catch up on. I've got another room up here that we haven't redecorated at all. We've got some bits and pieces to do like that throughout the house. So I'm just overwhelmed, broke because of my stupid car, and we've got all this money to spend on fixing up the house. So that is all I have to say about my shitty life. So as you can see, they're first world problems, and I live a very lucky and blessed life in so many, many ways. But sometimes when things go wrong, one on top of the other, it can get on top of you. Losing both the cats within 2 weeks. We lost my beloved dog last year and my brother. So yeah, we've just had a lot going on. I'm feeling it, and I say thank goodness for sewing. Anyway, and I say thank goodness for you guys too. And I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm not trying to dramatize anything. I don't know why I told you actually, but I've told you now, so now you know. Anyway, that's me. I'm going to leave you on that note. Sorry, it's a bit of a bummer. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you again. Next week I've got some makes to show you, and I'm sure I'll be a lot chirpier. I'll see you then. Bye.